गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ऊषन् वै वाजश्रवसः सर्ववेदसं ददौ तस्य नचिकेता नाम पुत्र आस. Once, desirous of heavens, our Vajashravasa, meaning Gautama, who was the son of Vajashravasa, was giving away everything that he had in a sacrifice called Vishwajit Yagya, and he had a son, Nachiketa Nama Tasya Nachiketa Nama Putra Asa. He had a son by the name of Nachiket. तंह कुमारं संतं दक्षिणासु नीयमानासु श्रद्धा आविवेश सोमन्यत सो अमन्यत. And when he was giving the donations after the yagya, after the sacrifice, he while distributing the the Nachiketa, he became anxious, he became disturbed on seeing the actions of his father, because and even though he was still a boy, he saw that the father was doing something adharmic, meaning unrighteous, and thus disturbed, wanting. And he had, as we told you before, he had faith in the culture, he had faith in the system, he was a student, his father himself was the teacher, and the teacher and father in one is doing something adharmic, something unrighteous, that made Nachiketa a bit disturbed and anxious, and wanting to help the father and remind him that he is making a mistake. He in the next verse, in the third verse, पीतोदका जग्धतृणा दुग्धदोहा निरिन्द्रियाः अनन्दा नाम ते लोकाः तांस गच्छति ता ददत. When he saw the unrighteous act being performed by the father, who was a Brahmin, who was a cultured person, who was a Gurukul teacher, Guru Maharaj, and what was he doing? He saw Pitodaka, the cows who had already drunk all the water, now they did not have the energy to drink. Jagdatruna, they had eaten the grass for the last time, they had no energy to eat anymore. Dugdha Doha, they had given all the milk they had to, now there was no more milk for them to be taken out from them. Nirindriyaha, they were incapable of reproduction. Ananda namate lokaha tansa gacchati tadadada. Anyone who gives away such type of cows, certainly such a person will go to the plane of Ananda. Ananda is shok, Ananda is misery, Ananda is hell, Ananda is where there is no happiness. And thinking in this manner, our Nachiketa in the fourth verse, Sahovacha pitaram tata kasmai mam dasyasiti dvitiyam tritiyam tam hovacha mritya vetva dadamiti. He went and when he had gone, when he had the good of his father in his heart, because he had faith in the system, he had faith in the sacrifice, he had faith in his guru, he had faith in his teacher. Remember what the verse, what that particular verse said? Shraddha avivesha so amanyata. So amanyata, he thought in that manner with faith, not to point out wrong of the father. So he didn't, in every child's eye, the father is doing the right thing. But where there is faith, he doesn't want the wrong destination for the father. And therefore, with faith, he observed and he thought. And when he saw that the cow thing, that all the cows that the father was giving were old, dilapidated, unproductive, and that a person who gives such donations, unworthy donations, to, and whom it was being given to, those who have performed the yajna, those who have performed the hota, the brahmana, all the priests who were there. And it was a big, huge event. And they are being given cows instead of those cows yielding some benefit to those brahmanas. The brahmanas will have to spend out of their pocket to take care of those cows. See? And thus, sahovacha pitaram tata kasmai mam dasyasiti dvitiyam tritiyam tam hovacha mrityavetva dadamiti. He went to his father and he pulled the dhoti. Here it is not written, I am adding that. But he asked the father, Papa, whom will you give me to? He said once, but the father just brushed him away. Then, dvitiyam tritiyam tam hovacha. Second time again he asked the same question. Third time again he asked the same question. He was persistent because in his heart he wanted good for his father. That is why. So it was not out of disrespect or anything. Just maybe sometimes it happens. And when the father saw this fellow, and what did the father think? The father thought, this boy is getting unruly. This boy at this age should not be so insistent, should not be, Hindi में बोलते हैं ना, हठी. He should not be what do you he took him as a miscreant, obstinate, wanting father's attention. And he said, this is not done. And out of anger, because first time, second time, third time, the anger burst forth, and he said, go, I give you unto death. And having said that, go, I give you unto death. And thereafter, the boy Nachiket, who is, we will say here, more matured than his father, because he is able to see what his elderly father is not able to see. So he started thinking in the 5th verse, Bahunamemi prathamaha, bahunamemi madhyamaha, kim svid yamasya kartavyam yanmayadya karishyati. He started thinking. He did not get angry. Daddy, why are you telling me to go to death? I am your only son. Don't you love me? Blah, 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 blah. No. That mature Nachiket, his name is not Nachiket. His Nachiket will be given, the name will be given afterwards. So, Nachiketa went away and started thinking. What did he think? How cruel the father is, how heartless the father is. On top of unrighteous acts, he has cursed me also, go I unto death. May no one get such a father. Is he thinking like this? This is not contemplation. This is a recipe for disaster, because it will this type of thinking will lead to even more anxiousness and fear in whoever is thinking. Whoever is thinking of their rights, they live in fear, they live in anxiousness, they eventually get depressed, and many of them do commit suicide or go into drugs, this, that, everything. And why? My father told me, go, I go give you to death. So what are you doing? I am taking drugs now because I don't want to think that thought again and again. I am an alcoholic now because I don't want to think that thought again and again. I have stopped talking to my dad now because I don't want, the moment I see him, I think about that. No, not that way. That is not mature thinking. That is not common sense. The positive approach to any situation that you are facing demands that you find a solution from that. And the solution is that for that you need to know what your duty is. For that you need to know what your place in society is. For that you need to know, are you capable of carrying out what has been asked? And all this will depend upon the inner strength, etc., etc., confidence, dignity. All that will depend upon, do you have faith? So Nachiket had the faith in the words of his father. He is not afraid of death. So he says, Bahunamemi Pratamaha. Among many, I am the best student. Bahunamemi Madhyamaha. And among many, I am maybe second. But Kimswid, in other words, when he says Bahunamemi Pratamaha, Bahunamemi Madhyamaha, but never the least, last. I am always inspired. I am always participating in whatever is asked. I am always there to answer questions. I am always putting my hand up. I am always in the front. And in some subjects, if I am not very good, I sit in the middle, but never at the last. I am not a backbencher. I am not a lost cause. Bahunamemi Prathamaha, Bahunamemi Madhyamaha. What are we in our life? Do we strive for excellence? Can we say to ourselves that every day that we have lived, nay, every moment that we are living in excellence? Can we say that to ourselves? That we have not lived a day of laziness? That we have lived a day of productivity, alertness, vigilance, striving for the higher? Not living like a mechanical rut. Get up in the morning, brush your teeth, take the shower, sit in front of the computer, answer the phones. At exact 12 o'clock, open the fridge, FFF, fresh from the fridge, into the microwave, cook the food, eat, again sit in front of the work. Is our life become mechanical? Or are we in that mechanical? You cannot avoid going to work. You cannot avoid sitting. But what is your approach inside? Are you inspired about the work? No, I don't like it. But here, our scriptures don't say that you have to do what you like. You have to do what is right. Saying whatever you have to, even if you don't like it, you leave your likes and dislikes aside. You perform, and you perform with joy and inspiration. That is positive approach to life. So assess yourself at this moment, bring the correction, make the commitment to the Lord. to yourself, to the Lord of Death, to whose abode we will all be going now. Because we have been sent. There is a Nachiketa in every one of us. Nachiketa is the ultimate seeker, who is not distracted, whose self-esteem is very high. It's not overconfidence. He is clear in his assessment. Bahunamemi prathamaha, bahunamemi madhyamaha, but never adhamaha. That's missing in the verse, but it is understood. But never the last one. Kim svidyamasya kartavyam? What is that which Yamaraj wants to get done through me? Yan mayadya karishyati, that he wants to get something done because of which my father is sending me to the Lord of Death. What is that purpose? What is that hidden purpose? What is that great purpose? What is that special purpose? See, these are the moments of depression or uncomparable excellence can be invoked out of yourself. Similar situation here, it is a small child. There in other story is Dhruva. He was also 6-7-year-old when his stepmother said, "You have to take birth from my womb in order to sit on the lap of your father." He went and came back to his mother. He said, "Mummy, the other mother, mummy told that you have to take, but I can't." His mother said, "Yes, you are already born. How can you take birth from her womb? Then what can I do? How will I sit on my father's lap? I also want to be loved by my father. I want his hand to caress my hair." He says, "I can't help it. And it is too late. You are already born through my womb. Then who can help?" She said, "Narayana can help." And he couldn't sleep that night, and in the middle of the night he left the home, left the palace, and became the great Dhruv. Tulsidas ji, Goswami Tulsidas ji, he got married, he went to his wife. So one event in his life turned him into a great bhakta as well as a sadhak. Sadhak and then bhakt. Goswami Tulsidas ji, he went to, when he got married, he crossed the river in Spate, taking support of a carcass, and reached there and climbed the tree and jumped into the balcony and entered the bedroom. And the wife was disgusted. She said, "If this type of commitment you had shown to your Lord Ram, he would have given you darshan. You would have become one with him." He said, instead of, "How dare you speak like that to me? We are 50-50. I have every right to come and spend time with you. Is this the way to speak to your husband?" Nothing like that. The moment she said those words to her husband, Tulsidas, and she said it in disgust, because he was lusty after her body. And that made her disgusted, that how will I face my parents? What will I say to all the people around in the morning? That my husband crossed the flooded river only to be with me. And with that disgust, when she said to him, घंटी बज गई. घंटी बज गई को इंग्लिश में बड़ा मजा नहीं आता. द बेल रैंग, क्या हो इसमें घंटी बज गई. एंड वो क्या हो गया? ही सेड, "थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर रिमाइंडिंग मी." And he walked out of that room and became Goswami Tulsidas, who composed the Ramcharitmanas. See, a moment of adversity converted into a moment of excellence. For that we have to overcome our fear. We have to overcome our expectations. We have to overcome our expectation from whatever. Why we have to overcome? Why me? Why I have to go to death? Dad, you also come with me. He didn't say that. See, and that opportunity to go to death, or that challenge in life, is coming to us every moment in different degrees. For a person, having one meal a day may be a great challenge. For a rich person, getting a $1 billion contract may be a big challenge. For him, getting a meal every day, 3 times a day, is not a challenge, isn't it? So it's relative. So, where are you as a seeker? Do you you get 3 times of meal without any problem? Gas, electricity, water, everything is there. Your hearing power is there, that's why you are listening. Thinking is also good, dementia has not come. Do you thank the Lord? Because, or have you taken it for granted that it will be always like this? And then, Swamiji, can you repeat it again? Can you repeat it again? Can you kya bola? So if at this moment our faculties are good, then utilize them to finish the game here and now, like Nachiket did. Positive approach. What is that which Yamraj wants to accomplish through me by making my father tell me, go, I give you to death? My father must be inspired to say this, even though he has said it out of anger. But it must be some higher power which made him say that, no? Do we think like this, that whatever is happening in our life is happening because of God's grace? Positive or negative? See, these are the qualities, just by studying this Upanishad and the character of Nachiketa, that we start, if you are available, you will start inculcating. These are the prerequisites to realization. A positive approach to life. Never doubt, never judge. He didn't judge his father. He accepted the words of his father. So having, see, when our teacher, great master, say something, if we are their devotees, if we have gone to them with a question, Swamiji, this is the problem, what should I do? He says, go chant this. And we start chanting. Naturally, challenges will come if he told you to challenge. If he told you to chant, and then you say, "Arey, Swamiji to sabko hi mantra dete rahe." Swamiji gives mantra to everyone, and he, just because he wanted to get rid of me, so he gave me the mantra. Many people think that way, isn't it? And they stop doing the mantra. And yet, and then they complain, this is not, then they go into judgment. This Mahatma is not good, that Mahatma is not good, because they want instant gratification. And yet, those who have faith, a mere look, a mere touch is enough for integrity to come about within them, for healing to take place. And so many Mahatma stories are there like that. When you read the biographies, you can see that. So what are they? Satya Sankalpa. Whatever they say happens. Even Durvasa, every time he used to curse, people used to say, please take it back, this is too much, blah blah. But every time Durvasa Rishi has cursed, it has been for the good of the person. He may have done it out of anger, but he is Rudra avatar, no? Do you consider your husband to be Rudra avatar? Or you consider your wife to be Kali avatar? Then everything that she says or he says, accept it as the word of the divine. Not only once, all the time. See? फिर देखो how quickly everything sorts itself out. Our issue is lack of faith. Then we did that, and now we were in the where are we? Where are we? We are in the sixth verse. And what is the sixth verse? Anupashya yatha purve pratipashya tatha pare sasyameva martya pachyate sasyameva jayate punaha. And think. So Nachiket has gone to his father and is saying, oh father, think, remember what the way or the anupashe yatha purve. Who are these? These are the saints and sages of the yore, our forefathers of yore, of the past, how they conducted themselves. Think, oh father. He is trying to remind his father, because he can see his father has become, maybe it's not given here, but father naturally, when the son is stunned by the words of the father, go, I give you unto death, which father will be so heartless? He used to love his son. So he saw the look on his face, father's face, and to pacify the father, that he should not feel the guilt, that he should not curse himself, that why God, why did I say such harsh words to my son? I am sorry, 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 sorry. But see the faith of the son. Person may say sorry, but see the faith the son has in the words of father. That is how you should look at it. He is not discounting it, that he said it in anger, so okay, shift delete. No. He says, remember the manner in which the people in the past, saints, sages, wise people, our ancestors, how they used to behave, how they used to conduct themselves. Please think about that. And same way, there are many people, think of those people in the present times. Who are in the present times? The living saints and sages are there. Living wise people are there. Sattvic people are there. Devotees are there. And they are alive and they are living. So, pratipashya tatha pare. And they are carrying out, they are living a righteous life, they are conducting themselves in the present day. See, the rules, the ground rules change a little bit, but the principles don't change. Our Bhagavad Gita is 5,500 years old. As relevant it was at that time, it is even more so relevant in today's times. what the qualities which we are talking about Nachiket were relevant in the year, they are equally relevant today if you consider yourself to be a student of truth, student of Vedanta, student of Brahma Vidya. And there are people who are practicing, see, and seeing, so that the father should not feel anxious and get into the fear mode. And before the father could say sorry to Nachiket, see the maturity in this boy. He says, Sasyameva martyah pachyate, sasyameva jayate punaha. He says, just like when corn is cut, it grows again. Same way is our life. When we are born, we have to die, only to be reborn again. So here, this is from relative truth and from relativity. We are not talking about absolute. From relativity, from the worldly point of view, this is an unshakable truth, that anything that is born will one day die, only to be born again. See, Nachiketa has recognized that, and in that sentence he has covered two things. What is that? One thing is that I am not afraid of death, and second thing is, you must not, because life is so short, because life is one day, we have to go out of this life will leave us, we have to die one day, and we are not going to carry anything with us into the afterlife. So the only responsibility of ours in this life is to live righteously, live a dharmic life. See how beautiful. In one line, in that sentence, it is a message to his father as well as a message that I am not afraid of it, of this death. Because for me, and I have studied from you only, that this body is only temporary, it will go away one day. Birth, growth, disease, decay and death, that is the story of everybody. Birth, growth, disease, decay and death. Where is the body at this moment? Assess. Are you in birth, or are you in growth? Are you in disease, or are you in decay, or are you moving towards or waiting for death? Huh? But it will come. You cannot escape it. And this was the greatness of our Sanatan Dharma, or is the greatness of our Sanatan Dharma, that we accept birth and death are cyclical. So the principle of rebirth is already taken, and we clearly know that if rebirth is there, it depends upon the acts that we have performed in the previous birth. So what is our responsibility in this life? To perform meritorious acts. And that is why the father was doing Vishwajit Yagya, performing a meritorious act which required him to give away all his wealth, so that he goes to gains higher worlds, and eventually he will come back, because this boy has learned from his father only. But one error he made. So let's see what. So this was in short, I said. Now Shankar Bhashya. अनुपश्य आलोचय निभालय अनुक्रमेण यथा येन प्रकारेण वृत्ताः पूर्वे अतिक्रांताः pitru pita mahadayah tava. Your father, your grandfather, etc. Uh, the, what was the manner in which they conducted themselves in the past? Uh, uh, Please remember. Oh, put your attention on that. येन प्रकारेण वृत्ताः पूर्वे सो अतिक्रान्ताः एंड देन तान् दृष्ट्वा च ते हाँ कहाँ गए हाँ तान् दृष्ट्वा च तेषां वृत्ताम् आस्थां तुम अर्हसि so by putting attention on your ancestors you should you should follow their code of conduct in your life. You understand? See, how much can a small child tell his father? He can't talk like a wise man. In the father's eyes, the child is always a child only, no? He says, you should conduct yourself like your forefathers. Then he says, Vartamanaha cha apare sadhavaha yatha vartante tanshcha प्रतिपश्य आलोचय तथा न च तेषु मृषाकरणं वृत्तं वर्तमानं वा अस्ति. He says, and also in the present times, वर्तमान वर्तमानः च अपरे. So in the present times, the other saints and sages, the sadhavaha, sadhu people who are by nature they are compassionate and forgiving. By nature their heart is totally filled with unconditional love towards everyone. They are sadhus, not those who are wearing only color for the satsang and rest of the time arguing, fighting, manipulating. No. Oh, whose heart is absolutely pure. Such sadhu. So in present times, those other sadhus, you see how they conduct themselves, and you please put attention on their code of conduct and learn something from that. In that manner, pratipashya alochaya. So look at them also, and and all these our forefathers as well as the present day saints and sages, sadhus. And sadhus are not necessarily only sannyasis. Sadhus are in grahastha also. Sri Ramcharan Lahiri Mahashay, Ramakrishna Paramhans, Anand Mahima, Gondavlekar Maharaj, Gora Kumbhar, all they were grahasthas. Namdev Maharaj, Tulsidas ji, Kabir Das, all of them were grahasthas. They were not. So if you are again and again, if our mind is going into we are not sannyasis, we are not sadhus, only sadhus are sannyasis, take that thing out of your mind. Sannyas is not the color of the cloth. Sannyas is the state of mind. Samyak nyas iti sannyas. The one who is continuously, alertly, ever in equanimity. He doesn't have ownership of anything. Who has got no axe to grind in this world. Our Swamiji says, nothing to do, nowhere to go. No axe to grind. Who doesn't say, please come, doesn't say, please go. He is available all the time. And you find many houses, many people like that. So, by observing the code of conduct of our ancestors, of the present day sadhus, and so we should follow those code of conducts and don't and not take it as it is not possible today. And naturally, you see, for example, in the olden times people used to go travel how? Walking, right? Did they have chappals? Maybe, maybe not. But when they came back, what was the rule? The rule was you wash your feet outside the house, and then after cleaning your feet you come into the house, isn't it? And now in today modern because they were dusty, because they were germs, you are walking. But nowadays you are walking in the shoes all everywhere, your feet are not dirty. Do you need to wash your feet before coming into the house? No. What do you need to do? The present day rule, you leave your slippers and shoes outside and come with the clean feet outside inside, isn't it? In the olden times, what were the rules? People used to go by bullock cart. The rules to be followed sitting in bullock cart are different. I don't know if you have ever sat in a bullock cart. It's very bumpy ride. You'll get a whiplash every time you'll get a whiplash. You have to be very careful. You have to hold tight. And you have to be so relaxed that with every up and down on the kacha road, your body is just going with that. Otherwise, if you fight it, you will have a pain somewhere. But today we don't use bullock cart. What do you use? We use plane. We use car. What are the rules for the car? It also takes you from point A to point B. Bullock cart also took you from point A to point B. But the rules of engagement with bullock cart are different to rules of engagement with the car or plane, isn't it? So same way, in the past, forefathers followed a certain character. They had a certain code of conduct with the righteousness with which they lived. And if you are confused about that, like many people today are confused that, oh, whatever was told in the old times, that is all superstition. That young Nachiket is saying, but in today's time, there are saints and sages. They are conducting themselves in the present times. You learn from them, watch them, and try to imbibe those codes of conduct in your life. Because they are in the present times. You cannot say that, oh, what my grandfather used to practice, that I cannot practice. You learn from the saints and sages. Now this Kathopanishad that we are telling here, that satsang is going on, how many, it's not, this Kathopanishad is not from Shankaracharya time. It is eternal. It is Shruti Vakya. How many people must have spoken, how many saints and sages, how many grahasthas, how many kings, how many rishis must have spoken on this Kathopanishad? What examples they must have given even 100 years ago, when they didn't have internet, they didn't have the terabytes and megabytes and all that. We give those examples. Could they give those examples? No. They must be giving some examples, no? You look at our Bhagavad Gita, that Jnaneshwar Maharaj is taking all daily examples from the field, from the sky, from the birds, from the animals, from the families. Because that's the data that is available there at that time. We use different examples now. But the knowledge is exactly the same. Knowledge is the same. So knowledge has to be put into practice. His father was teaching one thing but following something else. He was teaching Sanatana Dharma. He was running a Gurukul. Nachiket was a student of his father as a guru. But when the guru himself is not following the diktats that he is teaching his students, how will, and people are always observing. People are always observing. So why we wear these clothes? Because everyone is observing that you are a sannyasi. And because everyone is observing this person, he becomes even more alert not to do something untowards which is against the decorum of a sannyasi. So immediately, the moment these clothes are on, I'm talking from worldly point of view, from a kacha sannyasi point of view, from a beginner sannyasi point of view. And if you don't follow, society will make sure that you follow. स्वामी जी, आप तो सब कुछ जानते हैं, आपको हम क्या बताएं? एंड यू आर थिंकिंग, अच्छा मैं सब कुछ जानता हूँ यार, आई एम सो स्टूपिड, आई कांट रिमेंबर इवन श्लोकास फ्रॉम भगवद गीता, एंड दिस फेलो हैज फेथ इन, ही इज सेइंग विद आउट ऑफ फेथ, ही इज सेइंग स्वामी जी यू नो एवरीथिंग, you are a sannyasi. Now once people will say second time, third time, fourth time, after फिर यार you say ये क्या हो रहा है? Are they getting some experiences? Is something happening to them? Are they taking me for a ride? That will be negative approach. Positive will be when again and again people say, sometime it will click to you that yeah, as a sannyasi, as a teacher, as a renunciate, I must be more dedicated. I must have more faith. I must be surrendered to the higher. I must have more faith in the scriptures than anyone else as a teacher. Then only the words will flow out, isn't it? But if I am myself having doubt, then what can I teach? So then society pushes you, even if you don't want. You want to go out and have an ice cream. You want to go and have a pizza. You want to do this, you want to do that. And people say, sannyasi ko to kuch bhi nahi chahiye hota. The moment they say that, you just drink your desires inside. ठीक है, why should I say anything? You know, their understanding of sannyasi is this, so I don't want to break that. Okay, let's go for a pizza. See? So when he says here, till here we did last week. Till here we did last week. So whatever our ancestors practiced, whatever the present day sadhus are practicing, we must not let it go to waste. We, meaning we Brahmins, we who are cultured, we meaning those who are Sanatana Dharmi, because the father was a teacher, we must not let those codes of conduct go to waste. We must implement them in our life. We must adhere to them. We must practice them without any compromise. This child is telling his father. tad viparitam asatam vrittam rushakaranam. And if we do opposite of what our ancestors and our present day sadhus do, it will be going against the code of conduct, it will be going against the dharma, isn't it? Nacha mrusha krutva kaschid ajara amaraha bhavati. And nobody, if he disregards his conduct in life, the way he is supposed to conduct, but if he is not conducting him, following the codes of conduct, here Nachiketa says, such a person can never gain immortality. So, to live a righteous life, त्यागे नैके अमृतत्व मानशु न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागे नैके अमृतत्व मानशु. And that is what this Vishwajit Yagya was. Na dhanena. And even if it is out of anger, he was giving away the wealth, and by the coaxing of the son, he gave away his son also. See? But he has not given up the karma. When you have not given up karma, you can only get relative immortality. You can only get relative immortality. And what is relative immortality? It is that you can go to any, depending upon whom you are focused on, whom you are praying to, whom you have faith in, you will go to Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, Tapa, Jana, Maha, Satyam. Satyam is Brahma Lok, where the creator, Brahmaji, is there. And once you go there, if you get there, then relatively speaking, for 12 manvantaras, you will not be born again. For the rest of the period, we are in the middle of the 7th manvantara, so another 6.5, you will not be born again. You will be in Brahmalok. And if he sends you, you will not forget it. Such are Siddhas. They know that they are here for a purpose, sent by Brahmaji. When karma is also given up, how is karma given up? How is karma given up? By recognizing Brahma Arpanam Brahma Havihi, Brahmagnau Brahmana Hutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. That it's all a Leela. Brahman playing with Brahman. What is a wave? Water playing with water is wave. There is no individuality there. It's only an appearance. It's only mithya. Karma is given up that in this way, by thinking about, by surrendering to the higher. So na karmana, na prajaya. Our Vajashravasa Gautam, Nachiketa's father, he has given his reluctantly, angrily, but he has given up his father, his son. Na dhanena, he is giving away his wealth, but he is holding on a little bit for his son. So there also the act of donation is corrupted. So here when he says, na cha mrusha krutva kaschid ajara amara bhavati, and if but if we have any dilution in our code of conduct, then we cannot gain immortality. See, for many people, going to heaven itself is immortality. You must have heard, and you must have thought that way yourself also sometime, till you come across Vedanta. Then the that also, that one little bit support, that is also taken away from you. फिर ना घर का ना घाट का. See, so but relatively, yes, that is the way it is. यतः सस्यमिव मर्त्यः मनुष्यः पच्यते जीर्णः म्रियते. Because human, like like the corn, he is cooked like the corn. In other words, when the corn is cooked, it falls down and dies, and then after dying again it grows and expresses itself. And same thing is with this life also. Life came into existence, it will grow, birth, growth, disease, decay, death. The crops also happen the same thing. Sometimes too much sunshine, sometimes too much rain. One moment they were standing perfectly healthy, reaching for the sky. Next moment they are flat on the ground, soaked in water. And even after the water has gone away, run away, drained away, still they do not have the energy to come back, and eventually they putrefy and die, only to come back up again. Look at the weeds. You, every day I do weeding, but wherever I take it out, something is left behind. One piece of root, it again comes back up. This Brazilian grass they introduced to Melbourne, you take out one seed, somewhere falls, again the grass comes up. Those with the long ones, the seeds on the top. यतः सस्यमिव मर्त्यः मनुष्यः पच्यते जीर्णः म्रियते. And after getting old or it dies, then मृत्वा च सस्यमिव अजायत आविर्भवति पुनः एवं अनित्ये जीव. Where are we? 21. जीवलोके किं मृषाकरणेन. In this manner, in this ephemeral is relative. Relative is, ephemeral means that which is coming and going. Ephemeral is where there is no constancy. And where there is no constancy, where there is birth, there is always death. That whatever has come into existence must go out of existence. Whether it is a mountain, whether it is an ocean, whether it is a country. Look at what once upon a time India was, and see what is the shape of India today. See, once upon a time when you were so full of energy and strength and all beautiful, wonderful hairstyle, and abhi ganje, वाल ही नहीं है. The hand keeps going up, but there is nothing there. Before you could do anything, twist this way, twist that way. Now little bit, and suddenly the catch comes. Ephemeral means a world of that world of change. That is ephemeral. And what is ephemeral? Everything other than Atma is changing. So what is changing? intellect is changing, mind is changing, breath is changing, senses are changing, organs of actions are changing, world is changing, day is changing, seasons are changing, years are changing. The solar constellation is solar system is changing. Planets are continuously changing their position. The whole solar system within the galaxy is continuously changing. The galaxy in the total in the total picture, it is also at a very great speed. It is moving towards some black hole. Nothing is constant, my friend. And as long as you keep thinking about everything else other than the self, it will lead to anxiety. But here we are not, we will come to the self later on, the constant one. But here Nachiket is saying what? That in this world of change, world of impermanence, anitya loka, anitya jiva loke, uh, by what is the benefit by following false code of conduct? What is the point of following false righteousness? See, false righteousness means unrighteousness only. I'm just using it in the way they have said it here. See, the child is telling the father, and he is not judging the father. Now we'll see how. Palaya atmanah satyam preshaya mam yamaya iti abhiprayah. Palaya atmanah satyam. So here he is talking to his father. He says, Shankaracharya ji is saying, Adi Shankaracharya, he is saying, Nachiket says, therefore, please follow the truth of the self, of yourself. Preshamam yamayati abhiprayah. In other words, see, now he changes. Instead of judging his father, he's made the whole statement to be applied on himself. And what is that? That please don't take your word back. You are a guru. You are a sattvic person. Just as you are following the code of conduct of your grand ancestors, you are my father. And if you have said something, don't take it back. Your word is a satya sankalpa. If it has come out, there must be some greater purpose. He already thought about it, na? Ki what is the purpose which Yamaraj wants to accomplish through me, because of which he has prompted the father to say, go I give you unto death. So he says, please send me to Yamaraj, or allow me to go to Yamaraj, allow me to go to the Lord of Death. So he wants the father to follow dharma. If he has said something, see, that was the height of righteousness which people used to follow. Height of righteousness to be followed. You see this in Raja Harishchandra's story, where Vishwamitra comes and he tests him. He is Satyanisht, he is committed to the truth, King Harishchandra. And he says, all the gods say that the only person who is committed to the truth, the greatest person, is King Harishchandra. And some people always are there who don't believe. So they said, okay, let's test him out. So Vishwamitra said, I don't believe it, I'll check him out. if you say he is this, so he has to pass the test, and he goes, and he says, he makes the great rishi come and sit on the throne. The moment he sits on the throne, he says, okay, now the king Harishchandra says, you are the sage, you are the king, because of you the whole universe is functioning, the kingdom is functioning, we are only your servants. He said, then behave as one. And he takes over the kingdom. And then he has to, then he makes him, he has to, there is some story that one bird comes and a hawk comes and it wants meat, and nobody is there to give him meat. It was concocted by Vishwamitra only to test Harishchandra. And whose meat to give, because hawk eat means meat only. So Harishchandra starts cutting his own skin and giving to the hawk. And how much? As much as he weighs, that much. And some like this tests keep going on. In the end, he has to sell his wife, he has to sell his child, he has left the kingdom because he has to repay some money to Rishi Vishwamitra, who's running his kingdom, only to test him. And King Harishchandra, he is working as a dome, the person who gives fire to the in the cremation ground. And one day his wife comes with her son, and she doesn't recognize that she is his wife and that it is his son. He only knows what he has to take tax. If you need wood to burn a body, you have to pay something. You cannot get free wood. So she says, please, please, please. In the end, he says, no, you are saying you don't have, but you have. What do you have? She was wearing a sari. He says, give the sari, then I will give you the wood. And when all that reaches the climax, then Shiv and Parvati come and Vishwamitra comes, and then the greatness of Harishchandra has been etched into eternity. The greatest truthful king ever. Satyavadi Harishchandra, that is how he is known. But there he did not say, why did you make me go through all this? Could you not have asked me some questions and I would have answered them? Why you have to make me go through this? This is discrimination. You made me go out into the world. You made me lose the kingdom. You made me sell my wife. You made me, my child was dead. Okay, afterwards God made him alive. But this is not right. I think I'm going to take revenge from all the rishis. He didn't go into self-pity. He was committed to the truth. Are we committed to the truth in our life? Nachiketa is committed to truth. He has faith in truth. He has faith in the scriptures. He has faith in the word of his father who was teaching the scriptures. Do we have that type of faith in the words of our teachers, in the words of the scriptures that we are studying? If we have, then very quickly, tonight Yamaraj will come and you will tell him, please tell me what Nachiketa asks. See, that commitment, that clarity, that focus, that faith, that self-confidence, Atma Bala, that come what may, I'm not going to budge from righteousness under any sets of circumstances, as lucrative they may be. Sometimes businesses, it's a very easy way to make money sometimes if you just twist some things here and there. If you read Satyanarayan Katha, all that in there is you have to have faith in Satyanarayana, and if you do not have faith in him, things go wrong. It's not that he is making you go wrong, you are bringing it on yourself because of your lack of confidence in the higher. Because once you have said something that I'm going to do it, you must do it and be ready to face the consequences. But we are not like that. We tell so many things and we don't follow so many things. Because we never assess our life, that our commitments which we have not fulfilled, and if we are miserable in our life right now by way of health, by way of mental issues, by way of disease, all that is the result of the consequences of what we must have done but we didn't do. Prarabdha. Simple as that. So our society in the olden times, in the ancient times, was very righteous. The standards were very high. And if you take Mahabharata, you take our Ramayana, Valmiki or Tulsi, or you take the Kabir Dohas, or you take, where was I? That, yeah, the standard was very high, and we must adhere. If we call ourselves a seeker of truth, if we are students of Vedanta, meaning studying the Upanishad, you are all listening to the Upanishad, prerequisite. We haven't even met Lord Death yet, that Guru here in this Upanishad. Prerequisite: commitment to dharma, commitment to righteousness. Don't speak loosely. What you speak, you must mean it. You must follow it through, immaterial of the consequences. What is integrity? Manasa, what you think; vacha, what you speak; karmana, what you do. They must be in tune with each other. It's not mind is thinking something, mouth is speaking something, and the hand is doing something. Mind is thinking aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi. Thinking that life is birth, growth, disease, decay and death. Mind is thinking. But mouth is speak. Mind is thinking that way. Na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, tyage, naike amritatva manashu. But another pop-up window. This is the pop-up window. Mouth is saying, चल यार मूवी चलते हैं, न कर्मणा न प्रजा, चल मूवी चलते हैं, पकोड़ा खाते हैं, पॉपकॉर्न. And the body is doing something else. Total what you call desynchronization of our personality. That leads to our misery. The more we get integrated, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para, practice that. But in Upanishad, nowhere it is written you have to practice Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. In the main Upanishads, nowhere it is given. Then what you have to practice? You have to just change your notions about life. You are thinking you are the body. Stop thinking you are the body and start contemplating you are the infinite self, and accept it. Just as you have accepted you are the body, you have to accept that you are the infinite self. the all knowing self, the ever present self, the constant one, in spite of everything that is taking place in your life. What is, how do you put in a nutshell what is taking place in your life? Waking, dream, sleep, and samadhi. All these four are taking place. Be committed. So that is higher. But in our daily life, don't say anything loosely. Don't hurt someone. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't say something and mean something else. Don't say something and then every time, nowadays, oh, sorry, 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 sorry. So then why did you say if you have to say sorry? You should not have opened your mouth. So what is the best way? Keep quiet. Only open after deliberation. We don't have to give any opinions anywhere. We don't have to give our ideas anywhere. We don't have to ask about other people. If they want to tell, let them tell. Don't listen. like me. Don't listen. But they should not know that you are not listening. Yet they must get some resolution. It's a knack. And it's not you who are doing it. You get out of the way. See? So, where are we? प्रेषय माम यमाय इति अभिप्रायः. क्या टाइम हो गया? 8:51. So therefore, to follow the truth, you please send me to Yamraj, and in this manner our Nachiket is very clear that, see, he must have, when a child is told, go, I give you unto death, he must have got shocked. Why is my father? But immediately his approach was a positive one. That if my father has said, immediately, what is the great work that the Yamraj wants to get done through me? That he has prompted father to say these words. Now if that angle of approach has been taken, then I must put my father's mind at rest. He should not feel guilty. He should not repent. He should not take back the words that he has uttered, because I respect them. If someone says, Swamiji, you are absolutely stupid. Normal person, affrontation. What? You are calling me a stupid? Don't you see the white beard and what is my age and what is your age? And argument, and I will not talk to you, and blah 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 blah. Stomp out of the house. Why? Called for bhiksha and called me stupid. अब मैं कभी इसके घर नहीं जाऊंगा. I will never go to this person's house. Instead, what should be positive approach? Oh my God, how did this fellow came to know that I am stupid? Only I knew that till now. Hey, it's becoming known to the whole world. The secret is out. Immediately. So, have you put yourself at a very high pedestal within your own mind? That तुम 30 मार कहाँ हो? That you are a great lecturer, that you are a great sannyasi, that you are this, you are that. Never take that position. You are the dust. God says, Bhagwan says, I am the dust of the feet of my devotees. This should be our position. I created my empire. I raised my children. You didn't raise them. They raised themselves up. You only provided the environment. And if you had not provided, someone else would have. Remember this very clearly. They have come with their own prarabdha. They have come with their blueprint. If you had not, someone else would have. In Dhruv's life, sitting on his father's laptop, I'm saying, to sit on father's lap was not possible. But in his blueprint of life, sitting on the lap was written. So he sat on the Lord's lap. See? But our arrogance, we have raised our kids. I spent so much money, I spent sleepless nights, I worked so hard, I collected so much properties for your future. Now you take care of me when we get old. He says, I didn't ask you. You go your way, I go mine. I'll make my own future. I never asked you. Don't put that guilt on me. Don't put that responsibility on me. See? Be very clear about this in our life. So, our Nachiket father has some error in his personality. Nachiket is very clear. He is very clear what he wants to do, and he is very clear because he has made a decision to go to the Lord of Death. He wants to before going, he wants to make sure that his father doesn't feel guilty, repent, doesn't take the word back. See how सोच के आंखों के सामने, in front of my eyes, the story is unfolding. It's like I'm seeing a movie in front of my eyes. And many things I am saying which are not written there, but it's between the words, between the lines, all these suggestions are there. And at that young age, he is very clear. Sasyameva jayat, sasyameva martya pachyate, sasyameva jayate punah. Like corn grows, decays and dies, only to be born again, only to grow again, similar is this life. Jiva Loka, that is what was told here. मृत्वा च सस्यमिव आजायत आविर्भवति पुनः एवं अनित्ये जीवलोके किं मृषा करणेन. This life in this world of the jivas means mrityu lok. Mrityu lok is where death is the constant. That is mrityu lok. The rule is anything or anyone that comes into existence must go out of existence. Going out of existence is called mrityu, is called death. Is called death. And this is the nature of life. A gold in the form of an ornament you are wearing, then you take it. How many of you have done that? You have taken it to the jeweler. I'm tired of this design, but make sure no gold is lost when you are making the new ornament. I like this design. Then the old ornament dies. What was it? It was a wonderful necklace. And now what it is? Kamarband. But the gold is same. Before it was a necklace, now it is a kamarband. Same way, in the relative world, in the empirical world, where change is the norm, death is the constant, everything that comes goes only to come again. And this you see in our in if you Google also, you will find, on YouTube also you will find many incidences, rebirth incidences, where children are born and they know, oh, they are pulled, they want to go to a particular place, and they recognize, this was my house, this was my, that girl, she says, oh, this lady was my wife. She even knows the name of the wife. She knows her room, she knows her bed, she knows which utensils he used to use as the husband, but now born in a wife, small girl, as a small girl. Memories from previous birth. So, what is that which is born again? The soul. So, at the worldly level, at the plane of existence, we are not talking about the truth now, we are talking about the world. The norm of the world is coming and going. Who comes and goes? The soul comes and goes. It seems that way, right? Because soul is the constant, but it takes the body. Body's nature is birth, growth, disease, decay, death. Body, just like you change the car or you change the clothes. Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. When the clothes are old, you throw them away and wear new clothes. Every 7 years, your skin is changing, just like that snake. Every summer, it sheds its skin and then new skin comes. Snake remains the same. Same way, we shed the body dies only for the new body to come. Now, if new body has to come, what will be the body that you are going to get? Can you say with guarantee you will be born as a human being? It will depend upon the deeds that you perform. How satyanisht, how dharmic person you were in this life. Because nothing in this life you can take with you except the merits and the demerits. At the relative level. Accept the merits and demerits. Neither you will take the relatives, neither you will take your accomplishments, neither you will take your properties, neither you will take your bank accounts, neither you can take your body. All you will take is the merits and the demerit points. See, deeds. So our focus must be performing manasa, vacha, kaya. We must perform such deeds which do not give an untoward consequence. We are not doing it for a consequence. We are doing karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. But think of such thoughts which are righteous. When they are righteous, there is no wish to get a particular result. Ushan Havai, the father of Nachiket, he is doing it with desire. He is not doing it for the ultimate reality. He is teaching ultimate reality like a professor, but himself, he is not following it. He is not following it. He is only wanting to go to heaven. That by doing Vishwajit Yagya, he will collect enough merit points. See? So in this manner, we'll just read the next verse and then conclude. Where are we? Where? कौन सा श्लोक है यार? हाँ, 7th. वैश्वानर प्रविशति अतिथिर्ब्राह्मणो गृहान् तस्यैतां शान्तिं कुर्वन्ति हरवैवस्वतोदकं वैवस्वतोदकम् वैश्वानर प्रविशति अतिथिर्ब्राह्मणो गृहान् तस्यैतां शान्तिं कुर्वन्ति हरवैवस्वतोदकम्. I will not translate it because let's leave it for next week. Now we find Nachiket at the doorways of Yamapuri, doorways of the abode of death. So before that we have to prepare. So prepare for 1 week. I am giving you long time. Nachiket had only father said and he went. Because no doubt we want to listen to the entire Nachiket story, so we will not die. But let's, if we want to appreciate it, contemplate. Last time also I gave you a question. How did Nachiket reach the abode of death? We will contemplate, deliberate on it next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.